Welcome to 340, the podcast where we explore intimacy, relationships, and what makes us human. Before we start, think about the last time you felt truly connected to yourself, to someone else. When was that? And what made it possible? Then hold that thought, because this episode might give it a name. And if someone comes to mind when I ask that question, someone you wish felt more connected to themselves or to you, send this episode to them right now before we begin. Today's episode won't go into deep philosophy or complex psychology, just something simple. Because what if the struggles we see in ourselves, in relationships, and even in society are not separate problems at all? What if they're all connected? You attract what feels safe, even when it hurts. So let's break that down simply. The individual. Everything starts with you. Not in a selfish way, but in a foundational way. How you relate to yourself shapes how you relate to everything else. You can think of it like a simple progression. First, awareness, seeing yourself clearly. Then, acceptance, not fighting what you see. And then, liking. That's when you start appreciating parts of yourself. And then finally, loving, when you start feeling at home in who you are. Most people never move through all of these steps. And in reality, you can move up and down depending on the day, the energy, and how you feel. So there's a reason for all of this. You can't love what you're not willing to see. So then what happens instead? If you don't feel good about yourself, you will either look for someone else to fix that feeling, or you will avoid getting close to anyone at all. And that's where everything begins. The relationship. So now take two people, each with their own insecurities, their own doubts, their own need to feel seen, their own baggage, and put them in a relationship. What happens? It's not love at first sight. It's not harmony. It's friction. Because a relationship doesn't fix you. It reveals you. And here's something most of us never realize. Most couples don't fight as adults. They fight as wounded children with an adult vocabulary. If you need validation, you will seek it from your partner. If you fear reaction, you will protect yourself. If you don't feel safe in yourself, you won't feel safe with someone else either. But if you are more grounded in yourself, something shifts. You don't need as much. You don't react as quickly. You can actually meet the other person. And suddenly the relationship becomes a place of connection, not survival. Friends and connections. Now, let's expand that further. This isn't just about romantic relationships. It's about how you show up everywhere, with friends, with colleagues, with strangers. Think about the last time you walked into a room feeling anxious. Did people warm up to you easily? Or did something feel a bit off? Now think about a time you walked in feeling grounded, calm, open. There's a different response there, right? You didn't change words, you changed your state. And people felt it. Because people don't just hear your words, they feel you. They feel your tension, your calm, your openness, and your distance. People meet your state, not your words. And the reason this is so hard for so many of us, most people don't struggle with love. They struggle with feeling safe. And over time, that shapes your entire world, your friendships, your opportunities, your sense of belonging. Society. Now zoom out one more step, because this is where it becomes clear. What is society? It's just people and relationships at scale. So if individuals are stressed, if people don't feel safe in themselves, what actually happens? Relationships become unstable, trust goes down, reactivity goes up, and suddenly we see more conflict, more polarization, more us versus them, not just in politics, but everywhere, between men and women, between different groups, between individuals. Because when people feel overwhelmed, they simplify the world. Right or wrong, good or bad, friend or enemy. And here's the thing that most people miss. Your fear of intimacy isn't fear, it's memory. What we carry inside us from childhood, from old relationships, from years of not feeling safe. We bring all of that into the world. So what we're seeing out there is often just a reflection of what's happening in here. Society is just relationships at scale. So bringing it all together, let's connect it. You shape your internal state. That state shapes your relationships. And those relationships shape your connections. And all of that together shapes society. It's one system, not separate pieces. And here's why that matters. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of lived experience. We know we should communicate better. We know we should be more present. We know connection matters. But knowing isn't enough. The work is in living of it. So maybe the question isn't how do we fix society? Or even how do we fix our relationships? Maybe it starts somewhere much quieter. With how you wake up in the morning. With how you treat yourself when no one is watching. With whether you are actually present with yourself and with the people around you. That's where it begins. And that's where it can change. Because the more people who start there, the more everything else begins to shift. Love isn't something we find, it's something we choose. Every day, in the small moments, in how we listen, touch, and stay present when it would be easier to withdraw. Thanks for listening to 340. If something in today's episode landed, I'd love to know. Leave a comment, Send me a message. Tell me what resonated, what you're still sitting with, or what you'd want me to go deeper on. I read everything. And if this felt like something someone in your life needs to hear, please share it. That's how this conversation grows. And if you haven't followed the podcast yet, do it now, so you don't miss what's coming next. This is 34O, and we're just getting started. Stay honest, stay present, and stay human.